Thank you.
Are you ready to get started?
Sure thing. Grill away.
All right, grill away. All right, so why don't you start with a little bit of your background?
Okay, so I am Kathy Oakes. I am a New Englander, born and raised. And if you're into genealogy, I'm a Mayflower descendant, which is kind of interesting. I haven't really gotten too much into it. My mother was heavily into it, so she liked to supply us with all kinds of information. I have a ancestor whose name is Preserved Fish. That's true. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So my husband Doug and I have been together for about 41 years, ever since college, where we met.
Wow.
And we've been in Simsbury for 35 years, and where we've raised our two kids. Ian is living and working in North Carolina right now in Raleigh, and Kira's 26, and she is living in Bangkok right now, living and working there. And so we don't see them as often as we would like, but I'm very part-time work right now. And my background, though, is industrial design, product design, and primarily in the toy industry. So I used to design and invent toys for a living. And yes, it was just as fun as you could imagine. Absolutely.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
What are some of the toys that you helped to design?
Well, you may have heard of G.I. Joe or My Little Pony or Cabbage Patch Kids.
I have those.
Work on all of those. It's always a team, it was always a team working on those. And that was such a blast. I always tended to work on a lot of boys' toys like Rambo and, play sets for Rambo and things like that. But it was fun. I totally enjoyed it. I did a lot of Nerf toys too, and that was a lot of fun. The R&D part was a blast.
No, I'm sure. Sounds like a terrible job.
It was just great. But now I do primarily, like I said, part-time. I do some graphics and some web design. Mm-hmm. Boring stuff,
Yeah, that's like half of my job too. It's not always my favorite part, but I love to see it when it's done.
Yes, when it's done, it's great.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. So what brought you to Trinity?
Well, that was interesting. I came to Trinity because my kids were 6 and 10, and I felt it was time for them to have some kind of moral training or education. And I thought they were going to Terriffill School. Mm-hmm. And so I said, well, the church is right there. Let's check that out. So we did. And my kids found right away that a lot of their friends were in the classroom. So it was an easy transition for them. But the really surprising thing for me was that I happened to come across a brochure for Alpha. And I joined Alpha, and I got to experience all the newness and the amazement and the joy of learning about God and learning about Jesus. And even though I had been raised in the Catholic Church, I didn't have any connection at all with that. And so it just blew me away, just the whole thing. And I was totally mesmerized by all things Jesus and all things God. And so that was 20 years ago. And then I had my kids baptized that Easter when they were little like that. Mm-hmm. And that was a really cool experience. They went into school and told their classmates all about being baptized, how they got baptized. So
cool.
That was really cool. Yeah, that was really good. Good. So I've been with Trinity for about 21 years, something like that. And I've done all kinds of ministries like fellowship and pumpkin patch and the youth mission trips. And what else? A couple of years ago, I went down and traveled with the medical crew to the Kateri Medical Clinic for a couple of weeks in Nigeria. And that was a highlight. And so I've been doing a lot of things lately. And currently I'm the Junior Warden, which means I get to deal with all things regarding the building and grounds. and amongst other things. And I really enjoy helping out, because I feel like that makes me happy. Serving the church, serving people, meaning the church, makes me very happy to do that. And I feel like it's my responsibility as a member of the church to give to the church in that way, to be a part of the church, not just on the fringes, to really, really be a part of it. Because I know the churches, I've felt the church's guidance and holding me up in times of my grief, or times that I've had of grief and pain. And I've felt the church behind me. And by that, I mean all the members, that I've felt them knowing that they're behind me, knowing that they're praying for me. And I've felt that very strongly. So I feel strongly that in turn, I need to be there for my church family.
Yes, you've been there quite a lot lately doing all that painting.
Yes.
I like the color, by the way. Just a side note. I really like it.
Good.
Do you have any recent God sightings that you'd like to share?
Not really. Let me see. God sightings. Well, I do. I have enjoyed seeing everybody come back in person to church, and I really like seeing the joy that it's bringing everybody when they come in and see everybody. I think that's really special.
Yeah. I was talking with somebody just the other day that said, I really like the outdoor service, which is wonderful, because coming to church has been a struggle lately. But coming to the outside service, it's like rejuvenating. Everyone's so excited to be there, and it just feels like a real experience again, a real church experience.
Yeah, you feel like you're really, now you remember why you come to church.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm just going to fix my camera. Hold on.
Yep.
I don't know why it's blurry. Let's try this. Maybe I touched it. Oh, come on. Wake up. Stop being blurry. There we go. All right. So whatever that thing is. So you kind of already touched on this, but what do you do for work?
Well, right now I do some graphic design and some web design. It's very part-time.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot you mentioned that.
Right.
What about hobbies or passion projects?
Oh, I have a ton of hobbies. I love making things with my hands, anything, crocheting, knitting, sewing, that kind of stuff. But I also like to do things outside. I like bicycling. I love kayaking. I have a motorcycle. I love tooling around in that. And reading and listening to music. Those are probably the key things I like to do.
Yeah, somebody recent, I think maybe it was even you, that you described yourself as like a modern day homesteader.
Yeah.
Like all your compost and your cleaning supplies and stuff. I love it.
I know. I love composting. I compost all year round, and I don't know, stuff like that I really, really enjoy. Making something out of nothing. That's the key thing I like to do. Oh, and the other key thing that I got that keeps me happy is I got a kitten this time during COVID, and her name is Lou, and she's a Siamese, and she is just the cutest thing. I don't know, she's around here somewhere. She's usually close by, but she talks a lot. And I got her because I'm by myself most of the time at home working, and so she talks to me a lot, and I can talk back to her. And I don't know what we're saying, but at least it's a mutual understanding anyway.
I love that. If Lou is quite small, so if our cats come around, we'll have to see if we can do a comparison study.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
Mine are both super fat.
Yeah, that would be great.
So what kind of things do you do to help maintain your mental and or physical health, which you've kind of also touched on a bit?
Well, I like I said, all those hobbies that I've got, and I try to keep in touch with family somewhat. We're not so good about the Zoom. Every once in a while we'll do a big family Zoom, and that's about 19 people, I think, by the time we get everybody on. So
Wow.
it's a big deal. So we do that every couple months.
Yeah.
That helps a lot. And, calling friends, that sort of thing too. And I would say just being in touch with church has been the number one thing for me, because I realized when we couldn't go to church, how much I really, really missed it, and how much going to church really, truly rejuvenates me every week, and how much it meant to me to not have that. It was huge. So, and I know that, doing the Zoom stuff took a while to get used to. So I think, but I did realize how much it was helpful just to have that too, just to be in touch in that way was enough to keep me going. So I credit, you and your family and the music ministry and Father Taylor, everybody with doing that, because that was huge, really, really huge. And I would guess that most people, when they start to think about it, they think about not having that, it would be just not doable.
Yes. Yeah. I often say that was the only reason I could get going too.
Yeah.
And I'm an introvert, so.
Yeah.
And so physical health, you talked about kayaking and riding your bike, and you live close enough that you can ride your bike and your motorcycle.
Yes.
Is there anything that you would like to be better at?
Yes, I thought about this, and I thought I would really like to be better at forgiveness, and forgiveness meaning forgiveness for other things or supposed things that are towards me, and also forgiveness towards myself. That was a key thing. And then the other thing I would like to be better at is rollerblading.
Rollerblading is so 90s, but I love it.
I still have mine, and I'm telling you, it was 80s. I've had mine since the 80s, and I love it, but I still have trouble stopping. So.
Oh, that's a big deal. Yeah, you got to stop. Oh, goodness gracious. That's hilarious.
Yeah, that would be helpful.
Do you have any favorite spiritual disciplines that you would like to share?
Well, I like a lot of people, I learned about praying in the Word. No, what's that? Sorry.
Dwelling in the Word?
That's it. Sorry. I'll just go. Like everybody, I do enjoy dwelling in the Word, which I learned about this past couple of years. And I really enjoy doing that when I'm with other people. And when I'm not, I like the little devotionals that we have at church. It's the upper room, reading those, and I get it. Sometimes I get it online too, either online or the booklet. But I really enjoy those because they're sort of for me, they're a stepping stone. And then I read a little bit more. I go a little deeper. But I always get something out of it. And I've been trying to write about it too. So write about the prayers, not specifically who I'm praying for, but just write about my thoughts about it, so that I can go deeper with it. And that I found to be really helpful, which is interesting because I really don't like journaling or anything like that. But this particular way, it really helps me a lot.
Yeah, it kind of forces you to be reflective.
Yeah, it definitely does. Yeah, to be precise with your thinking and intentional with your writing.
Yeah. To make sure that it's clear and concise. Yeah, absolutely. Denise is also mentioning that she likes to journal her reading and her thoughts as she's reading.
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
Maybe you know what it is? It's almost like you're having a conversation with someone when you journal, or when writing the book. It's like you're talking to someone. So you can be alone, but you're really not, because you're just putting it out there. So
yeah. I remember having a conversation with Rabbi Becca from the Farmington Jewish synagogue, the one by high school.
Yeah.
She was saying that in their tradition, it's traditional to like kind of almost read the Bible as if you're having a conversation with it. Like, why do you do that? Why are you telling me to do this? That kind of thing, like questioning almost the scriptures.
Yeah.
And, I feel like that's something that we don't do as Christians. Like, we just absolutely, the Bible's infallible or whatever. And so I think it's a good idea, definitely, to kind of almost pray as if, or read as if you're in conversation with it, asking those
Yeah.
questions. Yeah.
I think, that's what I like about dwelling in the word, because when you go through and you ask those questions, it's really it's what is God saying to me?
Mm-hmm.
What's he asking me? What does he want me to know?
Yeah. I love it. That's a great idea.
Yeah, definitely.
What has changed for you in the past year? Is there anything specifically that you're grateful for?
Yes. Well, as I said, I'm really grateful for those who kept the Zoom church going and kept us together, because I think that was just phenomenal. I think Carolyn has done a great job as senior warden, just keeping us together too. She and Father Taylor have just been, just gathering us in all the time, just gather us in. And that's been just huge. I think this last year's been real tough. I felt the isolation of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I got my cat. And, but I think there's a lot of good that has come out of this past year, because when people realize how important family is to them, or how important make time to either meditate or pray or something like that, how important that really is. And I really hope that we can all keep that going. Keep those practices that have been good, keep those practices going. And some of those would be outside church too, like you said, outside services that everybody loves so much. Why not?
Yeah. Everybody does. Everybody's like, please don't take that away.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
The good stuff. It forced us to look at things, I think, differently.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you know what? That's what creativity is all about, being forced to look at something in a different way. And it's not a bad thing.
Yeah. I mean, look what comes out of it.
Right. Exactly.
You're forced out of your comfort zones.
Yep. Exactly. It's not comfortable, but you get good results.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Do you have a formative faith story that guides you during difficult or just kind of regular times too? And would you care?
I had something happen, and it was I didn't talk about it for a while, but it's an interesting thing. I actually had a vision, and it occurred during a time when it was a major amount of grief in my life. I was there when a friend's son died by suicide, and another friend died of cancer this was within a 2-week period of time, and it was pretty awful. It was pretty low. And I remember just being with my friends and just wrapping my arms around them and crying out to God and saying in my head and saying, God, I've got nothing here. I've got nothing to give them. How can I help them? What can I give them? And I felt like I was, you're at the bottom of a well, you're looking up, and I knew there was absolutely nothing. I'm at the bottom. I had nothing. And I got a vision, and it was, I'm not sure I still understand it. I think there's a lot to it, but I'll try to describe it to you. It was as if I did see water glasses, a whole field of water glasses touching, end to end. It was just, or upright, and they were all half full of water. And that's the vision. And the message that I got at that particular time was that our souls are like water in a glass, our bodies. We are meant to be shared. We're meant to share of each other and be shared. And so that when we transfer like water from one glass to another glass, when we give of ourselves, this is even hard to kind of even out. It's just, that's what we are meant to do. That was my vision said to me, that's what we are meant to do, to give of ourselves. And then afterwards, I was thinking about it some more, and other things came to mind, like, and when I learned about, the term or the phrase, the water of life, and I didn't know about that. So, this is not something that randomly came in my head. This was put there. And I really think that I'm supposed to put that vision out there. And I think other people are going to have, if I could render it some way, have other people share what it means to them. It might mean something different to them, and that's okay. But so that, in other words, my answer to that, or my description of that, isn't the end all. That's just the beginning of it.
Yeah.
So it was cool. It was really an interesting thing, and I was kind of blown away by it. And I've shared it now, kind of, on a more regular basis with people, because it's such an interesting thing. And I think maybe there is more to be learned in it than what I got out of it. So.
Yeah, it's that kind of thing that in a lot of different situations, you can come back to it and be like, oh, I understand what it means for this time as well.
Yeah.
A lot of different context. Yeah, that's fantastic. I would love to see that. You were talking about like drawing it or rendering it.
I'd like to do that. I'm not very good at rendering, but I could give it a try sometime.
The beginning of being an artist.
Good. Yes.
Yeah. I think that would be amazing, and I bet you a lot of people would get something out of it.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Good art is always like that.
Yep.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, that's the end of my questions. Thanks so much for meeting with me today.
Sure, anytime. I'm here.
Let's see if we can get our kitties together. Hang on a second.
Oh, yeah. Oh, here she is.
Hey, bud.
Here's Lou.
It took some work, but I got him. And I got a dog.
Oh, my goodness.
Jay, say hi.
Yes.
Hi, Jay.
And she says, hi.
Reezy, go sit. Hi. Reason, go sit, please. Go sit.
Look over here.
Oh, it's big yawn.
Look over here, Lou.
Hi.
Over here, Lou.
Hi, Jay.
Hey.
Ta-da.
Dad, look, they have a play date.
You woke me up from a nap for this.
Lou's pretty chill.
Yeah, he's a little upset because I woke him up. And because the dog was trying to bite him.
Yeah. She'll go back to her nap too.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll talk to you later, Kath. Thank you.
See you again soon.
Yeah. Bye.